Hey everyone, we'll be starting in just a minute or two. Dev, why don't you say a few words so we can make sure they can hear both of us?
Retail is eternally suffering, and I am so fucking tired. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Yep.
And now my audio's coming through. For a second it looked like it wasn't.
Well, at least
Okay.
it's not a repeat of the last time where it's just like, they could only hear me. I could hear you fine, but no one else could hear you.
No, remember, they could hear me, but they said I sounded like a robot.
Yeah. It's like, it sounds fine to me.
That is the key thing. They could hear anything I said. They said I just sounded really wrong. And for some reason, turning on room noise correction changed that, even though that's not a feature I've ever used. Okay, they can hear us. Let me minimize this. Let me pull up notes. You ready to start, Dev?
Might as well.
Yeah, we're both tired. Welcome to the With the Will podcast. We're here to entertain, inform a bit. We'll talk about Digimon. I'm Mark. I run With the Will and produce Digimon on Blu-ray.
I am Dev Hugh, and I am just absolutely fucking melting.
We're both melting. I'm just at the point where I'm still handling it better than Dev. I expect within a month from now, I will be the one complaining loudly, and by then Dev will have hit the point where it's not that it's better, you'll be used to it.
Well, the thing is, like, my state usually doesn't catch on fucking fire.
Oh, my state literally catches on fire routinely.
Yes.
Like, literally.
Yes.
But yes, it has been a fun 2 weeks, and especially fun is looking in the YouTube panel. Half of it is a new interface, half of it is the old interface. And I mean that
Fantastic.
hyper literally, where I can see shapes of buttons embedded on top of the old buttons.
How, how is that?
So it
Eh,
looks it looks busted as shit.
no.
In fact, I'm gonna grab a picture of this and show you when we're done, Dev, because this is you're just gonna see this and just go, oh, that's. I'm showing you after, and you're just gonna laugh your ass off at the strange button that's multiple colors. Considering this is supposed to be like franchise dead time, we're still getting like full fucking episodes of stuff to discuss.
Unfortunately, I mean, yay, because more Digimon stuff. It's my hyperfixation, but also nay, because I've worked 9 hours and it's hot as hell and
Hey,
I'm tired and I don't
Dev,
want
I,
to.
I have a surprise for you.
Oh no.
Booster set 18. Are we at 18 or 19? My mental last. It's 18. Booster set 18 comes out next week, and then there's no big card releases until September.
Oh, thank fuck.
Yeah. See, what happened is they decided to rush everything before the summer tournament season in Japan. So that's why it feels like they've been tripping over each other to do more than normal because the schedule was so compressed to hit everything early before they start doing we're going to start lining everything up, that they were literally tripping over themselves doing previews.
It's
So
like,
be,
here's this set, and this
yeah.
set, and this special booster, and this promo, and this set here, and here's this other one again.
Don't forget the starter decks.
I keep forgetting this
And
exists.
then, hey, Liberator. So 3 part 1 came out. So here's what's interesting. It is the anti-seekers.
There is so much character development.
It is 99% of what interests me about Liberator is character development and doofy faces.
Paramount has the best ones.
Uh, I don't know. Arisa's had some pretty solid ones. Where like Shoto's talking to her in the background, and you just see her with like a crazy face.
Okay, they're tied then.
Yes, but yeah. So like honestly, the card game stuff in and of itself, the learn to play the card game so that you can go and play the card game. I'm not interested in that at all. The character goofiness and faces, I love. The weird thing about this one is like it's part 1 of her introduction, but they haven't really shown enough of Violet for me to I don't want to say care, but at this point she's been introduced as oh, she's kind of the annoying character. And also Ghostmon is there.
She tries hard, and she's rich, and also they spent more time
Don't forget.
flashbacking to the previous chapter than they did on the
Yeah,
new character.
so at first I thought they had uploaded the wrong chapter. And I was like, okay, keep scrolling. And then at some point, oh, never mind, this is the right one. So the weird thing about doing that flashback is they also did the part 3 column, which was just going over that match in detail.
Like, interesting, but also considering the format, it's not like an episode where it's been an entire week and they need to give you like a minute or two of like, hey kids, do you remember what happened last week? It's like it's one page click away.
Yeah.
It's right there.
Ghostmon, I like how. Am I wrong, or so far does it seem like his personality is he just likes to be around and part of the conversation?
He's just a happy little butler
Yeah.
dude.
And also, this is the one that I feel like it's more interesting to say 1 or 2 things about than he's there. Is hey, look, it's Cool Boy.
It's like,
And,
ha, it's that guy. I
well,
kind of remember
well,
you.
so yeah, that's the weird thing. Cool Boy is the absolute manifestation of this is something that was never important, minus that some fans found it important, but also there's no relevance minus nostalgia, and the people who are most interested in him claim they don't want nostalgia.
They're lying.
Like Cool Boy never had any actual The only reason to have him there is so people go, haha, Cool Boy, I know about him.
Like, hey, he was in that one thing
And like
at
maybe
one
and
time.
like here's the thing, if they do something interesting with him, great. But so far he is hey kids, you remember him from almost 20 years ago when he didn't do anything, right?
Like, you remember the one single clip art of him in that one little VPET pamphlet?
Basically, yes. But yeah, it's a bit odd because it is the character who's like the perfect thing of people who claim they don't want nostalgia. but also like are very excited to see this character who never mattered at all. And then we also get profiles for Violet and Cool Boy and Ghostmon, and the relationship chart was updated.
Yep.
I actually kind of like that they're updating the relationship chart live, and I hope they continue to do that.
It's nice.
And did we even talk about how Violet's whole shtick is she's the rich pseudo stuck-up princess type, and they gave her the drill hair?
Look, she's going all in. She watched way too much goddamn anime. She decided, okay, yes, I want to be this specific archetype
So
character,
Dev,
and
Dev,
then just
Dev,
had the
Dev, there's,
money for it.
Dev, there's a problem with you saying that. I can't tell if you're making a joke or if you actually read her profile.
No, I did read her profile.
Okay, because the problem is that's so stereotypically it just a comment for anyone to make, and that is literally just what her profile is. She's a wealthy exchange student. She's also a gamer, and she watched anime and decided she's going to be a tsundere. Although I do like that they added the little thing at the end where it's like she thinks this will somehow make her great with relationships. It's like, oh, she got the wrong understanding.
Yeah,
So
she's looking at the wrong
I at least
genre of media.
I like that little touch, I admit. And Cool Boy's profile is that he's Cool Boy. Although am I
Like,
wrong?
this motherfucker works too
Although
much.
am I wrong, or is it Cool Boy reimagined as if he were Phoenix Wright?
I
Like,
don't think he's quite that goofy yet.
no, I mean when you look at the profile art.
Oh, yeah.
Am I wrong, or is that just Cool Boy reimagined as a Phoenix Wright character?
It matches up stylistically very well.
Yeah. And then that is it for Liberator for now. I'm looking forward to figuring out the schedule because at this point the webcomic is every other week. At least once they've said the novel will be every 3 months, but we don't know what that means at this point. Are they going to put up 4 segments every 3 months? Are they going to put up one segment every 3 months, one chapter every 3 months? Are they going to give up on that and do something once? It feels like doing something every month is like, because every 3 months, no one's going to remember to read that.
No, I mean, we barely managed to remember to read Seekers.
Well, the problem with Seekers was, I
10 to 10 little fragments?
yeah, I can understand why someone would read it weekly, but it was never fulfilling enough weekly. So what would happen was I would just forget to read it until the night before we had the show, eventually.
I binge it, like, during my 15-minute break at
So
work,
so
the day of the show.
I was able to keep up with Seekers week to week when they put it up when I was asleep Saturday night. So I would wake up Sunday and I would actually read it before getting out of bed. Then they moved it to where it was be like Saturday night at 7 p.m. It's like I got stuff to do. I'm not reading it right then. And then moving on from Liberator, to the beginning on Blu-ray. So that's out. People are getting their discs. Some people are still waiting for this, and some people, especially some card game fans, are learning what while supplies last means.
No.
Because some people are getting the movie and are like, "I didn't buy it for the movie. I wanted the promo card." It's like, oh man, I wish I could feel bad for you, but like, you if you collect cards, you're aware what this means.
Yeah. Sorry.
Especially for like especially like one-off Liberator promo cards are not a reason to spend $20 on a movie. It's not. And I went over the Blu-ray. Minus a few oddities, I actually think Shot put together a nice, weird little disc this time. First off, I
Yeah.
love the label where they have the stuff sideways. Um, Dev, did you look at the little image comparison that I did?
With the two,
The Yoli,
actual, like,
the Yo,
discs.
the Yoli and Hawkmon, I mean.
Oh.
Like,
That one I did not look at.
so that one ahead of time, while I was writing the article, I sent the images to Lost, to Milo, and to Logan, who I work with. Like, Which of these do you think is better with no context further? Two of them instantly said the same thing. The third one wanted me to clarify first that they were indeed different images, and then picked the same one also. The US disc looks nicer. And there's some weird. I will say the weirdest thing is, um, everything on the DVD is meant to pseudo emulate how it works on the Blu-ray, which was interesting to me. Like they try to make it
Huh.
look the same, or the menus and everything. We have the little intro from the director, which is great with Vmon.
I want to see that so badly.
There is only so the biggest mistake is there's some oddities in the captions. At least once, XVmon's called the Quilamon. This is in the dub SDH captions, I mean.
Okay.
And then the big oddity is different video masters are used. So in early promos, and we believe in theaters, it's hard to tell because we were not in theaters in Japan, so we're kind of just saying, US
Yeah.
Japanese theatrical is. The Digivices had the white borders, and Ken's Digivice was drawn as a normal D3.
Okay.
The Japanese home video corrected those colors to what we would expect them to be. So they have the black border around the screen, and Ken's D3 is completely black. The
Huh,
US
interesting.
the US disc uses the early master. Now here's the thing: Shout may not even know a different exists, or maybe they had to prep stuff so early there was no choice.
That
Because
makes sense.
like here's the thing: the disc is out now. The Japanese disc was out 2 weeks earlier. If they're making corrections for Japan, that disc may only need to go into approvals around March or maybe April. Shout may have had to prep their disc December, January. So those fixes may have not existed. They may not know they exist. But functionally, if it weren't, here's the thing: there's probably other fixes elsewhere. It's easy to notice on the D3 because we all kind of went, those are interesting color choices.
It's like, now it's different.
I assume that those are things that they meant to fix. They just didn't have the time. Like the example that I put in the thread of one of the bigger ones in recent use was Weathering with You. Was Makoto Shinkai had actually posted on Twitter that they finished the movie. He's happy. He sees it in theaters, and he goes, "Shit, clouds are missing in that scene." They had drawn the clouds. They just somehow weren't on in the final revision.
It's like, oops, someone forgot to
Yeah.
click a layer.
So on home video, that's fixed. So it's one of those cases where like we say Japanese theatrical. For all we know, this was only in early screenings. I don't know if this made it to actual like normal day by day screenings in Japan,
We would have to go back in time and teleport to Japan.
or find a number of trustworthy people who saw it and say what color was Ken's, because that's the one people will remember. Although weirdly, they did change other colors on the Digivices. Like
Hmm.
the buttons and antenna are different grays now.
Tweaking.
Yeah. So functionally, it doesn't really matter. It's just more a curiosity. But yeah, it's interesting to see. And then the third partner project, the Make Stamps Together, they put up their list of here are the things to vote for to see what will be. There are some good choices. I'm,
Especially Miyako.
I'm looking through. Well, the Miyako one's obvious. I kind of like the Pale Dramon one, where it's literally just the da 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 da, and then in parentheses afterwards, it just says firing Desperado Blaster. And I actually put that in the thing to explain it because that is actually there on the site.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. Let's see. What were some of the other good ones? I feel
I
like
like Lotmon.
I kind of like Neymon just doing ouch because I imagine him saying it in a very goofy way.
After he gets his pants snapped.
I can also imagine a good one for Gatchmon. there's some solid ones, and I'm curious, and I think the voting ended like last night actually. So we'll probably hear this soon, or it might have been a few days ago, but soon. And then, hey Dev, I think you were on the show when we first found out about source code, and then a few months later it was like, oh, did they cancel this? Then a week later it's like, no, they did not cancel it. It's just being made, and they're going to be quiet about it for a while. And now here we are, 3 years later, and
Like, oh,
like
apparently it exists.
it looks like it's almost ready to come out.
Yeah,
It
it's kind of cool.
it looks fine enough. I will say this: this is a great example of, well, one, the people who are like legitimately sad they're not going to get to play the game. When do we actually expect the game to be good, Dev?
Oh, hell no.
And then the number of like social media personalities, like 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 play acting it being like legitimately sad and like horrified at the brand that they won't get to play this game. Like, man, that's like the wrong crocodile tears to cry over. Like
Like,
the
it's a phone game. It's probably going to be around for a year or two and then die a horrible death anyway, and it'll never be heard from again.
Well, it's sort of like, even if you look on social media for stuff about New Century, even people who get in and play it, I I rare like the game seems to be, it's better than the last one, and I forgot what the last game's name was. It was the one that introduced Blucomon and Hexablaumon, but I don't remember the
Oh,
name.
god damn it. Uh, sh-
But yeah, that's what I mean.
god damn it. Yeah.
That game was horrifyingly bad. New Century, my understanding is it exists. But like the only thing anyone's ever interested in is the attack animations in New Digimon.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this looks fine. Like, I'd rather people have the option to play it, but I'm not like,
Encounters, that's what it was.
oh, okay, yes, that was it, encounters. And here's a
I
weird
don't
thing.
even know what the fucking
Weird thing
play
about
style is yet.
weird thing about encounters, and maybe you'll remember. I don't know if I'm wrong. Um, did Hexa Blaumon show up like as an enemy or a boss, but they never got to the point of him being playable? There
I
was
don't even know,
there
because I
was
don't
some
even know what the gameplay was like.
there was something weird about like that there was something weird that people who played the game were talking about, like when the game was ending. I don't remember what it was, but I could swear it was something like there was some character who would appear as a boss or an enemy, but they never got to the point that you could play as them. Um, so the one interesting thing here is a number of the promo character renders are the same ones we saw back when they announced this game in 2020. So we'll see what the
Mm,
actual game looks like. The final game, I mean, because like some of these are clearly in-game stuff. Others, I don't know. We'll see. I
yes, it just looks like a cutscenes or
Yeah,
trailer kind of
this is the
fun.
type of thing where it's like New Century. We're not going to be covering it at all, except for when we see interesting stuff. Because okay, there's Mugen Traman. We're not going to cover when they go, and then Chaos Dramon's in the game. When there's like unique stuff, we'll go over it. But yeah,
Like,
um,
did they put a little Christmas hat on him? Can
that
I make
that
a new wiki
that
memorable?
we will cover. There's also the cooking mini game, and fishing mini games, which look very rudimentary. Although I imagine the fishing mini game people will have fun with,
Eh.
probably. And then Card Apocalypse for June 17th, 2024. Dev, this is time for both of us to stretch. Are you ready?
Fuck my life.
Okay, Tomoki, good anime style art. Although, am I wrong, or does he seem more excitable than Tomoki often was in the cartoon?
In the cartoon, he was just kind of sad
Yeah, he felt
sometimes.
like a mopey kid. Then we get Chalkmon and Blizzardmon. Both of these I like. These are when Koki's style works really well, when he's kind of like blending stuff into itself.
They look very fluffy.
Then Ancient Megatherumon. I have to be honest, this is one where I need to see it without the sample before I like really think about it because it's in like the worst place for the face.
Yep. E.
Koichi, we get him with a hat, probably right before he falls downstairs.
Yeet.
Loimon and Kaiser Leomon. Both of these look neat, although it's a bit odd because Kaiser Leomon appears to be like a non-specific attack when he has actual attacks that fit in that vein.
He's just yelling from his tits.
That is the wrong character, Dev. You're thinking of Loimon, I think.
Yes.
Uh,
Kaiserman just yelling from his face.
then we get Ancient Sphinxmon, who kind of is doing nothing, to be honest.
He's being a kitty.
That's actually a good one. The Petty Marimon one I actually like. It's just fun. Does it feel like they're setting up for a party?
Ooh, yes, they do. Like they're carrying the candles towards some
Yes.
giant, horrifying
It
cake.
feels like someone's about to break out into song. And also Wanyamon, which is playing in the Village of Beginnings.
It is a cute puppy kitty
Uh,
thing.
Goburimon's a weird one because it is a very interesting anime-ish style. Like that's very much like pulled out of a cartoon.
What do you think of the Savers movie?
Hmm. Then we have Grotmon and Gigasmon. So it's interesting. Grotmon, I don't have much to say about. It's kind of just like a looking over the horizon post. Does Gigasmon look like he's literally doing his Hulk move?
Yeah, like he's smashing his fist down.
Ancient Volcamon, which I like how it's literally doing the move where it blows the volcano just to launch itself, and you can just imagine hearing a volcano Otis scream.
That is exactly what I
Um,
imagined.
Tiger Vespamon, we actually saw this when the web novel went up. Uh, ditto
That was
for,
cool.
ditto for Waspmon and Cannon Beamon.
Yep.
See, I'm just looking at the Canon Beamon one. I actually like the framing of this one, which is weird because it's very zoomed in, but it works well, I think. And then Peroromon and Funbemon. Peroromon looks great.
All the babies in this set just look like they're having such a good time.
A good frontier joke, Dev.
Before they fall down the stairs?
No, I meant just frontier in general.
Ah.
Then we have Chapmon and Shakomon. So honestly, the Chapmon arc I don't like, and I'm not sure why.
What comes to mind is just like the positioning of the other Digimon in it. It's kind of hard to tell what direction anyone is in.
And then Shakomon's just sitting there watching something. We don't know what though. Then
Watching the
I
latest
will say, I
episode
will say
of
that I will say
Connection.
this. That's the best part of the Penmon one. Him just sitting there trying to stay cool.
How I feel right now.
And then die Penmon. Am- Is it wrong? Am I wrong? Or does it look like he's just waddling forward and some Digimon are trying to stop him?
Just bulldozing them down. Also, I hate that the one, the blue Hawaii pop is pretty much the same exact color as the sky.
I'm not sure how much I dislike that because both colors do feel true to what they should be, even if it does feel a bit off.
Yeah, I would have like made the sky just like a little bit more
The,
contrasty.
the only thing I'm trying to figure out here, are they trying to stop him, or are they trying to stop him because they want ice cream?
He took the last of the freezy pops out of the fridge.
To be fair, Yuki Dargamon's trying to stop him, and you could easily make a snow cone or two. So the Pamumon art. Am I wrong, or is it actually kind of hard to tell Pamumon is the main Digimon in this art?
It is because Propiamon is like the major focal point.
Yeah, I like the art.
Palmon is kind of there.
I like the art, but at first I did not realize it was going to be Palmumon. Then we get Arbordramon and Peldramon. So Arbormon's pretty standard. Peldramon's neat because, am I wrong, or is it drawing him at a smaller scale than they often like to draw him at?
Same.
Because he is like a small thing crawling on a tree here, right? Or am I like imagining that?
He is feeling kind of lizard sized when he's more like kaiju sized normally, but who knows how big the tree is.
And then
It's hard to tell.
talk about giant kaiju size. Ancient Troyamon just blasting everything, just blasting everything literally.
It's like, get the fuck out of here.
Then we get Kodomon and Gladimon. I like these, although I admit it feels like it isn't completely clear what's happening. Because in the first one, it's hard to tell if they're fighting each other or not. And in the second one, you would figure, oh, it's a different angle of the first. But that's definitely not Kodamon's sword that he's stopping. It's like another Gladimon.
And he's just chilling by a sand castle or something, and
And also his arms are posed very weird. And then we have
just weird.
some of the best art of the set, Nightmon.
Okay, yes, that looks really badass.
Yeah, that is just some of the best art of the set. Roto Nightmon Ace also looks great, but we actually saw this on the packaging.
Yep.
And I like how occasionally when I post something and it says Roto Nightmon, I will actually get like angry messages.
It's supposed to be Load Nightmon.
Well, no, remember they've decided it's Lord Nightmon. After for a while they were going with Load Nightmon, then they were going with Lord Nightmon, but it was Loard.
Yep. And then they left out an R and just
Yeah,
who cares?
yeah.
Just keep the pun.
See, for me, I want both the night element and the color stone element to be there. So Roto, because I feel like if you're not representing that pink color, you're kind of missing out on part of the pun.
Exactly.
Then Urgent Fear. I will say this: the name of the move is good because does it feel like a horrifyingly powerful move that you won't even know is coming?
Nah, it just looks like he's throwing his glass of orange juice at you.
Then we get Dragon's Roar from Dynasmon. And
He looks pretty cool.
putting up this card in various places taught me something new. A lot of people do not recognize Dynasmon, which is not actually that shocking when you think about it. Because a lot of people are like, oh, is this a new Digimon? It's like, nope. Then Oboramon gets a really cool profile shot. Especially like the weird, creepy, like empty eye Gatsumon.
Yeah.
Like that's neat, isn't it?
It's creepy.
Zanbamon. So Zanbamon is weird because you know what the art reminds me of? Did you ever read any of the early Marvel Zombie comics?
No, but I have recently seen the cover of one of them just like at the comic shop.
Like some of the interior art where they would sort of draw it where it almost feels like there's a weird disconnect between stuff like teeth and eyes, where it almost has like a floating quality, like an unhuman type look to it.
Yeah, I get that.
Like if you look at like his white teeth there, they don't quite look like they're attached properly.
Yeah, just because like they're so bright, it
Yeah,
doesn't look like there's no like gum. They're just kind of there.
yeah. Then Violet with Manga Star. This is actually a really good card. Although, am I wrong? Or are her hair drills much smaller than in the manga?
Smaller. Yes, they are.
Okay, good. I looked at that art and I'm like, am I imagining that or not? Owen Dreadnought, who's looking very morose.
He's just there.
He's angry that his partner is not in the set, seemingly.
Yep.
Then we get Ko-Zenimon, Zenimon, and Ko-Kabuterimon. I love the coins when they show up.
Monies.
And Ko-Kabuterimon always gets like the hero poses. Then we get
Adorable, and he deserves
so
them.
so here's interesting. We get Rhino, Kabuterimon, and Ancient Beatmon. Rhino Kabuterimon gets like a dynamic shot, but it looks too busy for me.
Very a lot.
Yeah. And what's weird is Ancient Beatmon looks busier, but because he feels static, it feels easier to understand what's happening. At
Well,
least for me.
also, like his shape is a little bit more like his
Defined, you
silhouette.
mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then talk about easy ones to understand. Chimeramon and Mugandramon. So here's what's interesting here. I like how they're both almost the same pose.
Yep.
Uh,
Three-quarter turn facing to the left.
both have great art. And then right after that, we got a card from Millenniumon. Uh, and he's jumping at the. It's almost like he's jumping out of the card so that we can defeat him. Like we can just rip up the card and be like, "Be gone with ye," just like in every anime and game appearance.
It's like, oh, this is the ultimate Digimon. Nothing can defeat. Hey, just wet paper bag.
Got beaten up by a soccer ball. Got beaten up by a normal human. Got beaten up by War Greymon doing a spirit bomb.
Also got turned into a nightlight.
Yeah, I forgot about that one.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
do
After they kick his
and
ass,
then
he's just a nightlight.
and then do you remember when people were like, "Oh, it's not just going to be him and a crystal. This is a setup for something." Nope, he's just a
Yep. Just
nightlight. In fact, am
just
I
kind of
wrong?
floating there.
Am I wrong? Or like one episode later in the show, did we just see him like in the crystal sleeping and like not giving a shit?
Nope. He's just chilling, just
Yeah.
floating next to Taki's desk, being a, you know, not even a paperweight.
And
He's
then
too
for
floaty for a
and then for
paperweight.
some reason, Gazimon gets like some dynamic pop cartoon art,
Much better than Millenniumon, actually.
and then Deltamon gets some neat like it feels like this wants to make him like almost like a Killer Croc from Batman.
Honestly, the first thing that came to mind was Street Sharks.
I think of them more as they look in the cartoon, which it was not very detailed to me. But I do see what you mean, especially the mouth open like that.
Mm.
See, that's what we need. We need to get someone to just really nicely go over part of the image in whiteout and make a bubble and just have it say Jossum.
Yes.
Then Entmon. This is like the good menacing art of the set.
It's a creepy little bastard. Well, a creepy, very large bastard, but you know.
Then we get Tinkermon. Tinkermon's interesting because you can't tell if nothing's happening or if she's stabbing someone with that poisonous spear.
It's hard to tell.
That does
Because
make
she
it
looks
kind of
very
fun though.
menacing.
Then we get Jet, Sylphimon, and Ancient Irismon. What's neat is these are in the same sort of camera poses as the Fairymon and Shootomon ones.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say about these because it feels like we said everything about it for Fairymon and Shootomon, and these are kind of more of the same of those. They look nice. I just don't have much to say.
Yeah, Jet Selfiemon's just kind of weird in general.
Yeah, and then the long otherworldly names: Wind, Fire, Ice of Swords, and Darkness to Light, Thunder to a Cannon. These are basically remakes of cards from the original card game.
And they look badass.
Yeah, they do look really good. Then in card battle, we got previews up front. We got Bokomon, Neimon, Tamer card, Takuya and Koji Suzanumon Ace, and the one who rules over destruction and regeneration, which is also one from the original card game. These all
Yep.
actually look really good.
Neymon is my favorite one for
I was
defense
gonna
right
say,
there.
I was gonna say, I think my favorite's Bokomon.
He just has a stack of books there, and Neymon's just drooling on himself.
Yeah. And then they did Lucimon, Larva, and Satan Mode. And the funny part was when you went, "Oh, I like the Lucimon cards." Before you said anything else, I went, "Dev, when I saw these cards, I went, you're gonna like all three, but Larva and Satan Mode you're gonna love." And you went, "Exactly."
Yes. I want these so fucking
So,
badly.
I don't think we've discussed which your favorite is. Is it Larva actually? Because I think that was the one that I went, "Oh,
It
you're
is
gonna love it."
absolutely larva.
Okay, that's what
It
I thought.
absolutely is
That's what
larva.
I thought it was gonna be. Like the framing, the composition, having Satan Mode around it.
It's like I would have this as just like no text, just a poster.
I feel like there's a lot of cards we can say that about, to be fair. And then we have details for Booster Set 19 Cross Evolution. This is the set that is going to have a heavy focus on the Cross Wars manga. It will have various high level, it'll also have various high level Digimon from Tamers as ace cards. It will have something that I say appears to be a ghost rare because we don't know if it's literally one. A lot of people seem to think it's going to be a Japanese release of the Kenshi Watanabe signed card that we heard of for the English set. And I haven't figured out where it came from, but everyone in Japan who was talking about this one seemed to think it was going to be War Greymon. So I feel like I
Hmm.
missed something there because everyone seemed to have come to that conclusion separately.
Hmm.
So I assume I missed something somewhere.
Yeah, because it feels like the ghost rares have been like Omegamon, Imperial Dramon, Alphamon. Was it Jessmon or one of them?
I think those are the only three so far.
Yeah, so why would it swap down to War Greymon? I would assume it'd be something like big, like
Well, that's the thing is
Exmon.
we're set up for, I believe, the 18. We're going to see a ghost rare, and a lot of people are like, it feels like this is going to be like a Susanumon, which I'm not sure for a key reason is Susanumon has a card in the set. So I wonder if it might
Be
be
a
like
parallel.
it could be, but it feels weird that they would have the special card be like a different Susanumon when, based on the way they do these sets, we're already going to get one or two pieces of parallel cards for the Susanumon here. You know what I mean? It feels like a ghost rare for like a Dukemon or a Jessmon or got
Digimon would fit,
or
especially if the next set is Tamers heavy.
well, that's the thing is so we've gotten like one ghost rare a year, and what it is so far is we had Adventure, then we had Alphamon, then we had 02. So if there's a pattern there, and I'm not sure there is, the next one would be the one that doesn't quite fit. So like I could almost see like a Gankumon or something like that.
Maybe Liberator, like Zafagamon.
Is Zafagamon desirable enough at this point when the first card was in the last set? Because it feels like they're trying to go through like the super well-known guys.
Might be trying to draw more attention to.
Yeah, that does make sense. It doesn't feel like it is right so far.
They need to make a ghost rare of Omekamon.
Yes, they do. And then the Terramon and Shumon contest ended in Japan, and English card games will be given out at AX and GenCon. It's basically just go there and make a social media post while they watch you make it, and then you get promo cards, which is easier than it was to get these in Japan. As far as I know, the only way to get these in Japan so far, Dev, were do a Twitter contest.
I'm going to assume it was like a stamp rally or something.
No, no, I think it was literally just, hey, sign up on Twitter and maybe you'll win. And then for December in English, they will have the special limited set, which is going to be a combination of LMO3, LMO4, and some parallel cards for LMO2. LMO3 was at card events earlier this year. LMO4 is still unannounced, but based on what we've seen, it's going to be some sort of like 14 card Savers or Shine Greymon set.
Okay.
because it appears the
I'll
name.
see what comes out of it.
Yeah,
See if
it
I want to
it
pick up any of it.
it appears the name is for LMO4 is going to be Torrid Weiss. So everyone's kind of just going, okay, the name 14 cards. It feels like it's just gonna just do Shine Greymon. You can also do the evil Shine Greymon. You can do Agumon. You can get 14 cards out of that easily.
Oh yeah.
And the one nice thing is a full box is guaranteed to have at least one of every LMO3 and LMO4 card, regardless of rarity.
Ooh, very
Uh,
nice.
and then we have a preview of the Wormmon card from Gencon, and it looks as good as we thought from the art.
He's so cute. I love him.
It really does look nice. Then, like we mentioned, Card Battle had 2 different episodes where they had matches, went over cards and such. And then next time will be the last big batch of cards for Wild Dev, so look forward to it.
Oh, then the episodes will hopefully be a little shorter. I am so tired.
And then new project at Annabirth. So I actually like. So these are gonna be at Annabirth on June 21st and at the Digimon Partner Online shop on the 28th. So first up, we get fluffy can badges. These are can badges of Agumon, Gabumon, Patamon, Telmon using profile style art, where it's can badges with like felt over them.
Yeah, it's like they're flocked.
Yeah, and then the interesting thing is metal tag and crest keychains. It's the try ones that everyone loved.
I'm salty that they're bringing these back after my friends have already left Japan.
These were like, here's the thing: we first saw these in like 2016, and they would show up at every pop-up store through like 2018, but they would sell out endlessly. People were always being upset at how quickly because like they would like do like 10 batches per pop-up store, and they would just vanish instantly. So these are the same designs, but one, they've changed the finish. The Digivice is bare metal now rather than shit. What's the material? I forgot the material when I was writing the article.
Enamel?
Yes, it's bare metal instead of the enamel fill-in for the Digivice keychain part, and they're adding a Crest of Kindness one.
Oh fuck yes.
And the best part is one of the reasons why these were so popular was they were very nice, but they're also very affordable. They're 1,400 yen.
Also, like, because of the material, you can actually use it as a keychain and not have
That's what
to
I mean.
worry about it like
But
self-destructing.
but like at current exchange rates, do you know what this is?
Oh, like $10 or so.
$9. So
Do we
yeah,
know anyone going to Japan very soon?
that was the. Remember partner shop. I may get a batch of these through an intermediary because I kind of want them. And I assume if I do that, then you'll want one of each.
Possibly, or just like a kindness or.
Yeah, I really like like yeah, we saw these non-stop for 2 years, and people were like frantic to get them.
Because they're fucking cool.
I know, but yeah, that's the thing. The material was good, the quality was good, and they've changed up enough so it feels like something new, even though it is the same design. And then, Dev, as I'm getting ready to go to bed last night, I'm like, oh
Ew.
no, they put up a collaboration. I'm going to be up for an hour and a half, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, this is like smaller as far as putting together. This is a weird one and a bit different, and I've already seen multiple people
Yeah.
say they're going to do it. So the Villa Fontaine hotel chain runs a number of like bigger hotels in Japan, one of which is connected to the terminal, like Terminal 3 at Haneda, which is like a big terminal. And here's the fun part. Do you know why people pick this hotel?
Because it's literally attached to the airport?
No. It's like a nice hotel, but it's close enough that they have free shuttles to like Akihabara, Tokyo Disneyland. They
Oh.
have their own hot spring. They have a view of Mount Fuji.
Huh.
It's like crazy positioned hotel for a lot of stuff. So they're having a room themed after Taichi and Hikari and a room themed after Yamato and Takaru. The room prices are not great, although I don't check Japan hotel prices constantly. Uh, so based on the room you choose, you also get a bonus mug and drawstring bag based on the room, plus a generic sticker.
Not bad.
And here's what excited people. And I'm not kidding. I got so many messages like, "Are the dates correct on this?" Because if so, reservations are open. The accommodation dates can be anywhere between July 1st, 2024, and June 30th, 2025. So there are people like, "I'm going next May. Is this date accurate?" I'm like, "As far as I can tell." They're like, "I'm fucking getting the room and no one can stop me."
As an adult, no one can stop you.
Yes, that is the fun of it. Yeah, so and like there's like, oh, if you get the Digimon theme room, you also get a complimentary ticket for the hot spring, uh, breakfast, blah blah blah, hotel stuff basically.
Actually, then that makes the price pretty decent considering.
Well, no, because look carefully about the price. I was confused about this when I first looked. It's like, wow, that price seems really good. It's like, oh wait, no, that is the price per person if you get it as a two-person room. So that's half.
Ah,
A room with one
never mind
bed.
then.
A room with one bed, Dev. Yeah, as far as I can tell, the reference price is per person in a two-person room with one bed.
Yeah, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, it's exactly like when you look at the price, you're like, okay, with exchange rate, that's like 150, $160. That's not so bad until you realize that yes, that is a one-bedroom room for two people. You better really fucking want that mug going.
Just pirate the mug. Just
Yeah, I'm
actually
interested.
go to an Anabarth store. They make nicer mugs. This is just too clip arty.
See
You
here,
don't
see,
need
see.
that mug to be cool.
Here's my problem with the mug. The one time I got a pop-up store mug, Dev,
Nanny?
I got the one with like the digi egg, where like the hot makes it the baby instead of the eggs. Here's the problem, Dev. I hold the mug. I've never used it because if I pick up the mug, it's like the Hulk holding a normal mug.
Yeah, I ordered a not the pop shop, but back when Think Geek was still existing. I got a Portal 2 mug, and it was so tiny, like I could only get like two fingers through the little handle.
Yeah,
Like,
it was.
wow,
Yeah,
this is sad.
yeah. Dev, at no point should you hold a mug and should it be Hulk sized for you.
Like this is very tiny.
Yeah. And then new poll. We knew this one was coming. It was the
Yeah.
adult form for anime. And a lot of people would not shut the fuck up about Vitramon being there. We know why Vitramon's there is because that is the next one.
Yes. It's like we know it's actually considered kind of a perfect, but no, this
Here's
is
the thing, it has been considered adult before, and in multiple V pets they actually have had the normal one be child. Like remember the it was the Digimon X2, I think. They had Duskmon be like a child because they wanted to fit
that was
in
fun.
all of his forms. So Dev,
Deskmon is
who
baby.
are you gonna vote for?
Growlmon.
That's not a bad choice. Yeah, I'm looking through this and I'm like, okay, Greymon, everyone, Vitramon, people complained about. Shoutmon Crust 4, a lot of people are like, well, it should be Omega Shoutmon, like, no. Then some people are like, I wonder what you do for Restramon after another level or two. It's like, we'll see. And some people are like, Betel Gamamon isn't popular. Wezin's the most popular. It's like, no one cares what the random web polls say.
If there was Wesen, I would vote for that one because I love his tiny little legs.
Don't you want to see Wezin when someone knocks him over?
Yes.
Also, am I
Yes,
wrong?
my
So tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm remembering this wrong. Did we not see in an anime when like Resin was gonna run and instead he like
fucking booked it.
No, he like Gundammed forward. He didn't actually run. He like hovered or something, and we were like upset by it because we wanted to see him like waddle or whatever.
I think he ran like he ran like a toy.
See, I can't remember. My brain tells me that he like floated, and that can't be right. But yeah, so a few weeks we'll see what the poll here is. I feel like this one's more interesting than the child level. And then we have weekend bat stuff. So first up, so director Kakudo loves to make things on his own. He found actual batches of leather and started to make a case for his tablet that looked like Koshiro's um, computer.
Laptop.
And like actually like doing stuff with magnets so like you could pull it down and have the camera. He
That's a fun thing to do.
Yeah, he was not able to get it ready for the anniversary, which is what he wanted to do. Yeah, it is. I will say this: it is amazing to see how much stuff he will like functionally do. Like, look, are these the best leather cuts? No, but it's amazing that he made this. Like the amount of stuff he does on his own is crazy. And I like
Just
it.
decided like, hey, I'm just gonna make a laptop cover. No one can stop me.
And I like him going. And he's like, the keyboard was just one I found for $10 somewhere in Akihabara. It's like okay. Then Tenya Abuno posted art of him drawing something. He didn't say it's Digimon. It looks Digimon-y, but I could also see it being random small things. Like I look and
Sure.
I'm trying to go like, is this 100% Digimon or is he just could this be random cute things for something else? And it's like, I don't know. I want to say it's
It,
Digimon, but like looking at the designs, I could see this being random. You know what I mean?
yeah, but also it's like it's a head with a tail sticking out of it. I mean
Yeah, that's true also. Uh,
that the fish eye.
then Usagi Bochi drew new art to show off for the column 3 tip thing last week.
Very cool.
Terramon's very excited here. Then we got this Digimon Partner Shop. Took some photos of the loft shop. It's just basic, nice photos to show the place off. This is the one in Ikebukuro.
Nice.
Then Asmaria was showing off the. They got a sample of the upcoming VPET to like look at how the art went. They thought the fold over elements worked better than he thought they would.
It needs more spikes though.
It can't all be Spike's Dev. I'm sure he tried. I'm sure he's like, Spike's here, here. They're like, no, it has to be the same mold. He's like, Spikes.
He
Like,
can just he could just modify it himself, just add more spikes.
he could. Then Naoki Akamine posted their Digimon World art again because they've been playing the game, which we've seen it before, but nice. And then they posted their their whole year and a half batch of adventure art again. Basically, they posted it, then they posted again without art going, this seems like it'd go good on a horizontal smartphone.
Or an ultra wide monitor.
Yeah, but I love that they post it without the text because they know people are going to want it for that. When the funny part is, the text that they had there was not even like really in the way of it looking nice.
I really love the butterfly right in the middle of the text.
Yeah, it worked. I actually think both work well. And then some Liberator social art first. Usagi Bochi put up one for for episode 3, part 1. And then Tomo01 put up art, and we're helping work on line art for the comic starting with 3.1.
Oh, very nice.
I like the very line arty style of the art they put up also. Then it's time for questions. You guys in chat can throw questions up. Let's stop. Someone wants to know, do we think when the Digimon digital world rebooted, did the Digimentals respond? Does that mean they're two of each? No. It's just it is a metaphorical, literal reboot. It's not like cloning stuff. It's just plot. You can just assume that by the end of Try, everything is as it was in the digital world, with a few extra Digimon having shown up. Is the way I would think of it. Dev, what are your thoughts on that?
I wasn't paying enough attention. It is what it is.
Next question was from Diego. He said, since the new Ip Man line is a themed remix of Gilmon, what villain should get remixes and what should the theme be? The example he gave was Pico Devimon getting a Dr. Greymon line. So we get Greymon Nurse, Metal Greymon, but he has a syringe instead of the metal arm, and War Greymon with a coat and glasses and a clipboard.
Oh my god, that should actually go with Agumon Hakase. They're both doctors.
Yeah, that's already on its way, isn't it? So I'm not sure the themed line works a lot of the other times for a key reason. For Impmon, that sort of line has been in people's heads for decades. Just even though like he was never going to be Growmon, that line's been there just because of what we knew. So I'm trying to think like what would be like one that people would really. There aren't a lot of evil child Digimon in the show. Is the all other thing.
Yeah, I mean they're not evil, and they ended up being absolutely fucking nothing. But Black Tailmon Uber, I would have liked an entire like delivery person line for the Tailmon.
Yeah, actually, that's a good one.
Like if you don't sign for your goddamn package, Lilithmon will just taser the shit out of you.
Okay. Devin wants to know: should the new Kaiser Greymon deck be called RGB Hybrid, and should fellow PC gamers build it? Hell no, because let me put it this way: a friend who builds computers professionally helped me build my current computer, put in the RGB stuff that because like that was the best equipment, and then I just immediately turned it all the fuck off. Like they didn't put actual like RGB lights in. I'm saying like the motherboard had RGB on it because it was the correct, well-priced motherboard for what I wanted to do. But I turned that shit off. I
Yeah, sometimes it can be a horrific eyesore. It's like it looks cool, but also it's distracting.
yes, I do not need RGB. Like for example, I have an RGB keyboard. Do you know what lighting my keyboard uses, Dev?
Zero?
I have it locked to blue on level 2, and then when I go to bed, I turn it to level 0.
Oh, nice. I have mine kind of like that, like pulsing blue, like the really slow pulse.
Uh, see, I have it on the no pulse at all. It's just blue. The next question is someone wants to know what is our preferred toppings for hot dogs?
Um, Look, I don't even eat mine with a roll. I just cut up in little pieces and eat it with a fork like a child.
Mine is ketchup and raw onions. The type of raw onions depends on the type of hot dogs.
Sadly, raw onions will murder me.
Yeah, see, in my case, I just don't have anything fancy. That's just what I like. Let's see. Someone said, "What is a way of releasing older Digimon games that might actually do we think would actually work?" I think the way to do is first is you don't release anything until you've released a new game, unless you have something like a modern high-end port. But like if you're talking about like old Digimon World games or old Digimon story games, I think the answer is simple. Once you have a new game come out, 6 months to a year later, you just do a collection and of ported emulator games, and then you move on. Like, because here's the thing, you aren't going to upgrade the first Digimon world to make it more appealing if someone does not like it already. The game is what it
Yeah,
is.
just do what they did with the Spyro and Crash Bandicoot games. Throw the first
Oh,
three onto
no, no,
disc
no,
and
they didn't do that, Dev. They remade those entirely. Like they
yeah.
redid the graphics and everything. They ain't doing that for Digimon World 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, just throw them onto a disc together and make them not glitchy hell
Yeah.
and good enough.
Basically, yeah, that's what would work. but you have to do that after you have a new game. It's sort of like Survive came out, and then they did a port of World. Here, they're in the position where if it's a game we have not, like if they were to port the Adventure PSP game, that is technically a new game to most people. So if they do like a heavily enhanced port, they can get away with that. If they want to port like collections of old games, they need to do something new first at this point.
Yeah, we'll be waiting a long time for that.
Then someone asked, were we going to go over the Amico updates ever again? They were funny. I know why they asked this, because there's been an update. So the last time we talked about the Amico is when I said it's not really funny anymore. Is that right?
That is correct. You said it was just kind of sad at that point.
Okay. So it was said at that point because at that point, everyone had figured out that 90% of Tommy Tallarico's career was faked. And he wasn't affiliated with the company anymore, and the company was so desperate to keep trying to make the Amico work, they had started selling off Intellivision brands, like piecemeal. And
Wow.
and like here's the thing: if you follow Atari, you'll know that Atari, no matter what they do, some Atari stuff is never going to be with Atari again, no matter what happens. The brand was split up too much. In television, that never happened to. So this is the first time, minus like licensed games like Tron. So two major Intellivision brands were sold off to a company that was making games for Amico. So now here we are, a year later maybe. Um, all of the Intellivision stuff has been sold off to the same company minus those two games, and it's Atari. So here's the thing.
Yay!
Modern Atari, as they exist right now, is actually a decent company. Like, they're doing stuff clever. They've stopped doing the weird NFTs. We're gonna do a hotel, blah blah blah. Their current shtick is they're going to be the guardians of gaming history. So if they're gonna do that, they're gonna do proper, like they currently own Digital Clips, Night Dive Studios, groups that do a lot of game preservation stuff. So it's like, great. If they're gonna own everything in television, that works fine. And I assume those other two brands they'll probably buy at some point, because I don't think those really have value on their own. So so but here's the thing. The other company is rebranding as Amico Entertainment, and they're still gonna try. Now, Dev, if you remember, um, I believe I was mocking this with AR on the show before you were part of the show. Like, as they were spinning out before you were around. They're still trying to do it. They just
Hey.
they just legally do not have the Intellivision name, so now they're like rebranding into like Amico Entertainment. It's not going to be the Intellivision Amico, it's just going to be the Amico. They're still trying to hang on and do something that no one wants. So, yeah, I think for the Intellivision brands, yeah. But yes,
Yeah.
for the Intellivision brands and those games, I think going to Atari is probably the best end result. If those other two games get sold to Intellivision, then I would consider it the best case, period. Amico at this point, I don't know what they ever had, minus some bit of nostalgia from fans who thought they were going to be like the old Intellivision and old games. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what they even have at this point, because like everything they've ever said has been
There's no working console.
no. That's the thing. Everything they've ever done is they're like, oh, you can't do these games on mobile. They're unique to the Amico, and they're like, we're going to launch Amico on Android phones. So
Yeah.
yeah. So don't give a shit about that. Because like here's the thing. I actually have some affinity for Intellivision, more than most people, and I'm probably about as young as an Intellivision fan gets. And in a few weeks, I'm 40.
We're all a foot in the grave.
Yeah. So Amico's a joke. Intellivision is at least not affiliated with it anymore. But we will see what happened to those two brands that got sold. Last chance for questions in the chat. Someone asked if Ken evolved Stingmon on his own with the Crest of Kindness and he wasn't Dino Beamon, what would he evolve into before Grand Quagamon? I mean, there was never really any plan for that outside of they had Dino Beamon and Grand Quagamon. There isn't really
Yeah.
anything to evolve into because it was always going to be Stingmon and then Jogris into
Payolamon.
Payotamon. It's sort of like people still arguing about Shakumon evolution. It's like, no, it's Vikemon. That's like what it is, whether you like it or not. And someone said, since you've talked about wanting 4K HDR Digimon stuff, they were wondering what Digimon content could they actually release that way. So the older stuff, absolutely not. Um, most of the
You would
older
know. The most know that.
most of the older movies don't really have masters that feel like it would work. They'd have to do new scans and everything. The modern shows, some of them you could argue, but I don't think there's a drive to put a lot of long shows on disc like that. I think it's really just keys and in the beginning. I think it's literally just those two.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's about it for those. And that's about it for questions. Dev, what Wikimon article would you like people to read?
Boncho Stingmon.
That's actually a very good answer. That's a clever answer, Dev. I can be found at With the Willows always. We will catch you guys here in about 2 more weeks. And it feels like we're due for a deluge soon, doesn't it, Dev?
Oh no.
Because here's the thing:
No.
we're not getting DigiFest this year because they're doing the adventure exhibition, but we're getting very close to that, and we still don't know what the exhibits are. So very soon. See, we joked that the hotel wasn't like a huge thing. It's like the Harbinger. Well, here's the thing though. We're gonna get like cafe bullshit. We're gonna be like, AR, you gotta go on you gotta come on the show. We're gonna talk about cafe bullshit.
Like, the drinks can't get any worse. Oh god, they got worse.
It's like, why is this drink both neon green but also cloudy?
Why are there ground up sesame seeds floating around the bottom?
Why does this cup of tea have a strawberry floating in it?
No, they already did the strawberry. It'll be a blueberry next.
Just a single blueberry?
Yes.
And on the side will be a muffin with no blueberries in it. Oh, okay, I
Exactly.
got it. Are you ready, Dev? It'll be a cup of strawberry tea, hot, with a single blueberry floating in it, with a Monica, and then on the side, a single corn muffin with some sort of infused compound butter.
Banana.
Remi- oh God, you just reminded me of something horrible I saw. Dev, are you ready?
Oh no.
A new frozen snack someone had linked me to. It's in the freezer section. It's a banana with a tiny bit of peanut butter dipped in chocolate and frozen. Reese's. Here's the thing. All those flavors are flavors that technically work together. It sounds horrifying, doesn't it?
It's making my tummy not want to agree with anything, including existing.
I will let you rest, Dev. Thank you everyone for showing up. We'll catch you in a few weeks. Bye.
Bye.